A storm track weather alert day is in effect as strong storms are possible during tomorrow morning's commute.
And we have live team coverage tonight. The expected severe weather comes as some mid-Missouri residents are still working to recover from Sunday's strong storms. ABC 17's Zach Boetto is standing by with more on recovery efforts.
And we'll hear from him in just a minute. But first, Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Jessica Hafner is tracking tomorrow's hectic forecast from our Weather Center tonight.
Jessica, you're actually tracking 2 rounds of storms that could bring severe threats.
Yeah, I'll be watching for rounds of storms tomorrow and potentially Friday and the weekend.
We have some breaking news tonight. In the last 10 minutes, police in Columbia confirmed 1 person was killed in a crash on Highway 63 near Stadium Boulevard this afternoon.
According to police, the driver was not wearing his seatbelt when he struck a median on Highway 63. Police say the car then vaulted off the overpass and landed on Stadium Boulevard below. The driver, 39-year-old Wesley Griffith, was ejected. Stadium Boulevard was closed for over an hour as crews worked to clear debris.
And in the last 90 minutes, deputies in Boone County cleared the scene of a reported shooting that happened north of Columbia.
According to law enforcement, 2 bullets hit a home near Creasy Springs and Sycamore Hills Road around 7 this evening. We spoke with the homeowner who says they heard a car speed off in the seconds following the shooting. No injuries were reported.
And few details have been released about a car chase in Columbia tonight. Now, we actually got video from a viewer that shared it with us of the chase near Ballinger Road around 6:45. Here it is. It ended near McKee Street and Orchard Lane. Our news crew saw 1 person being detained. No further information, though, about this has been released.
A former North Callaway school teacher faces federal charges in Iowa for allegedly extorting minors into sending him nude photos. Chad Craghead was arrested last week in Missouri. A grand jury in Iowa charged him with several crimes, including producing child pornography. Authorities say he made a fake Snapchat account to get nude photos of teens in southeast Iowa, then threatened to send them to others if they didn't send him more. Craghead has worked with the North Callaway School District since 2013, leaving the job last November. The indictment says his communication with the teens over Snapchat happened in March of 2020. The school district says it did not have a comment on the case. Today marked the first day of Missouri's special legislative session, where senators are discussing adding new legislation to the federal reimbursement allowance bill.
The most discussed topic of the day was part of the bill banning Medicaid payments for contraceptives and to abortion providers. Some Republican senators argue that contraceptives are instruments of abortion. Planned Parenthood held a meeting this morning discussing the benefits of contraceptives and the harm it would do if new legislation was passed.
Contraception prevents pregnancy, including these methods that the legislature is considering limiting. It doesn't interrupt a pregnancy. Statements in the law should be true, and the statements in the proposed language imply that contraception is the same as abortion, and this is misleading, and it's not based on evidence.
If the legislature votes not to extend the FRA, hundreds of millions of dollars would be diverted from other programs over the next fiscal year. And an appeal is underway after a Cole County judge says Missouri was in the right not to expand Medicaid eligibility.
Judge John Beadham issued the ruling this afternoon after hearing arguments in the case on Monday. You'll recall last year voters approved a measure called Amendment 2, which expanded Medicaid coverage to 275,000 more people. The Missouri General Assembly did not pay for the expansion during this year's session. Here's video we got in court on Monday. Lawyers for the state argue that the Missouri Constitution prohibits voter-approved measures that create new programs without specifying a plan to pay for them. Supporters of the expansion say the measure didn't create a new program, just expanded eligibility. Soon after today's verdict, the plaintiffs in the case released a statement saying they will appeal the decision. The Missouri Department of Health has issued a new health advisory in response to the fast-spreading Delta variant.
The advisory reiterates the importance of continued testing and vaccination. It also comes as the CDC released some new data that the variant now accounts for approximately 29% of all COVID-19 cases in the state. Health leaders say 2/3 of Delta virus cases in the state are being reported out of southwest Missouri. And with vaccinations at a plateau in Missouri, hospitalizations have seen an increase in recent weeks. Dave Dillon with the Missouri Hospital Association said while most hospitals aren't at an emergency level currently, he's actually concerned about a potential outbreak. Dillon said many hospitals have shut down their COVID-specific wings and no longer hire traveling nurses, both of them vital during the pandemic, with the CDC reporting vaccines such as Pfizer's to be 94% effective against hospitalizations due to COVID-19. Dillon added some of these issues could be avoided.
Any hospitalization or death from COVID at this point is unnecessary.
The number of active coronavirus cases in Boone County has reached the triple digits for the first time since mid-April. Health leaders reported 25 new cases this afternoon, forcing the number of actives to now 102. For the ABC 17 News question of the day, we asked how you felt about Missouri now leading the nation in new coronavirus cases. 70% of people say they're concerned. If you'd like to comment on today's question of the day or vote in our upcoming polls, you can visit our website, abc17news.com. Free COVID-19 vaccinations were available at tonight's Food Truck Roundup in Columbia.
The event at the MU Healthcare Pavilion on West Ash Street wrapped up at around 7. The Columbia-Boone County Health Department says they prioritize vaccinating people at previously planned community events. We did reach out to the health department to find out how many people got shots at tonight's events, but we haven't heard back yet. And now that we're into these summer months and more motorcyclists are out on the roads, law enforcement agencies are pointing out just how many more deadly motorcycle crashes have happened so far this year.
ABC 17 Chanel Porter is live tonight from the Harley-Davidson shop in North Columbia. Chanel, there has also been an increase in helmetless deaths for riders.
Devin Lucas, a spokesperson for MoDOT, confirmed with me today that motorcyclist deaths this year are up about 40%, but the biggest jump is in helmetless-related fatalities that is up nearly 800%.
Just ahead on ABC 17 News at 10, where the news comes first.
Law enforcement near Sedalia continue to search for an inmate after he escaped yesterday. Coming up, we'll bring you the latest update from law enforcement.
And crews in Columbia worked to put out a gas fire this afternoon that hurt 2 people. After the break, we'll tell you what started the fire.